All right.
I had to get that out before I hit record.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
I sent him an invite.
How was your baby shower?
It was cool. Saw, dude, a lot of people were there because Pootie had his baby.
Yeah.
Him and Sam, and then Brennan was there, and Paige. What's up, dude?
What are you doing?
I was hoping you'd wear your.
Try to slow clap.
Didn't work.
I was hoping you'd wear your Kamachu.
My kimono. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice little Sunday tradition.
Cheers, boys.
I got this just for you, Blow.
Oh, nice. You send me one in the mail.
I'll Amazon it to you.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take that.
I like your new sign, Weston.
Yeah, Stevie got that for me up there. Oh wait, that one?
That one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's your day.
It's the Second Amendment sign.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that room's decked out in patriotism.
Is that the office?
I need a better chair if in my office.
It's Weston's miscellaneous stuff room.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of patriotism thrown in there.
Yeah,
a lot of bit of patriotism.
So I got the stair climber.
No, that's next. But miscellaneous description of this room.
Hey, quiet up.
Dan, did you watch Yellowstone?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
They have to make another one.
What?
There's no way there isn't another season.
It was 100% another season. That's why, I mean, this season, like the cliffhanger at the end of season 3 was epic, right?
Yeah.
And this whole season was more of like a setup.
Yeah. It was a little slower and more dramatic.
Yeah. It was all just a setup. I knew someone had to die though. And of course it's not going to be one of the main characters. So I didn't call that who was going to die was going to die. Blub, are you watching it? Cause I don't want to give up too much.
I'm not watching it because I have to start on like the 2nd or 3rd season. Should I do it anyway?
But you're watching Yellowstone though, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Why not?
Well, yeah, I knew someone had to die, but
you mean in like the future?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Undecided. You
well,
won't ruin anything. I'll forget by the time I get
I'm not gonna feel bad if I give up too much information. But I mean, I'm late. I'm a week late, so it's like I don't care. But I knew someone had to die. I think for a while there, I was like, what the fuck is Jimmy's whole deal with this whole 666?
Yeah,
right?
4 6s.
But I read that they're trying to make a new spinoff, like 1883 is a spinoff of Yellowstone, or like a prequel for Yellowstone. They're trying to make another spinoff that's the 4 6s ranch too. So I think they're trying to keep that in the mix with Jimmy going back there.
Yeah.
Him in there. So I think season 5 is going to be based off of Gacy tripping his balls off on that peyote.
Yeah, man.
Well, whatever he saw on that trip, that's like gonna set up the whole season 5.
So I never really was clear on whether or not that was actually peyote, or if he was tripping because he was out there for so long without food and water, and it was just the elements that were getting to him.
Oh yeah,
because they had that pipe and they told him to smoke it, but I don't even remember him actually smoking it.
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean, he was hallucinating. I don't know whatever it was from. He was still hallucinating. So season 5 is going to be based off of whatever he saw on his trips. But it's like the whole season 4 is based off who was it that tried to put the hit on him, and then they were trying to kill him, right? So I think it took 10 episodes, but they finally killed the guy who they think tried to kill them.
Beth is a sneaky bitch.
She's a genius.
You gotta love it.
I just got a text from Dakota Durr.
Yeah, I saw him too.
He just asked me to officiate his wedding.
Nice.
Their little baby Bennett is pretty damn cute.
I bet, dude. He looks so Asian.
Yeah, he's got Marissa's eyes for sure.
Well, Coda's got some squinty eyes too for a white guy. So like, yeah, you put them
Yeah.
together. Yeah, he just looks
We
like
got
a
moon eyes.
white Asian.
Mhm.
He's gonna look pretty cool when he grows up. But I didn't know they were engaged or got engaged.
Yeah, I don't really recall that news either, but it's not surprising.
Right.
Dan, you keep fiddling with something on your hand. What are you doing?
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that I keep doing that, but I am always doing that. I don't know why. Hannah got it for me for Christmas. It's called an Aura ring.
Does it measure like your heart rate and a bunch of different stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a health tracker. Yeah. Supposedly they claim it's more accurate because it's around the finger rather than the wrist. So it's basically it tracks my heart rate variability, my sleep, my readiness, daily activity, all that stuff. Yeah. Mostly I'm tracking it for sleep because I'm not really working out very much right now. So I'm just tracking it for it just mostly use it for sleep data.
Does it track your HRV?
Yeah. Heart rate variability. Yeah.
How's your sleep look?
Not good. I slept on a couch all week last week. So yeah, it's a little messy because like I travel, like I'm here for a week and then I travel for work for a week and then I'm here for a week and I travel for work for a week. So it's all inconsistent.
Are you staying within Texas?
Last week we're actually in Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas.
What were you doing in Arkansas?
Just the normal shit. Just in Arkansas. Same thing we do here, just in Arkansas. Huh?
Oh, you were there for business.
Yeah, for work. Yeah, it's the first time that I've done it outside of Texas for work. We have a trip for Oklahoma City coming up here pretty soon too. So we'll go up there eventually.
You guys remember driving to Oklahoma City?
On the way to Wyoming?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but me
I feel like it was
just
I think
talking
it was
about that
nighttime.
trip.
But it was like there was nothing around. It was just straight fields and then like a city and then it was straight fields right after.
Oh, bro, that was Nebraska. I thought.
Yeah, that was Omaha.
I remember.
Oh, was it Omaha?
Yeah, Nebraska was just flat and plain. We hit Omaha and then we went right back into flat and plain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say we wouldn't have gone that far south going to Jackson Hole. Omaha definitely like that though.
Me and Stevie were playing out scenarios if it was one of us that was driving through when we got pulled over and how differently it could have went. But since there was sweet Ponja in the driver's seat, that we got probably cut some real slack.
Dan had no idea.
Dan just puts his
Dan was so confused. Just woke up.
I was sleeping in the damn trunk. I was like, I had my seatbelt on or nothing.
Dude, my memory of when we almost hit those mountains,
like antelope, I think maybe.
Yeah, I remember because I was laying down sleeping, and in my memory, it's a lot like when Dan spun around Lucas LaHood's car going down JR's hill. Like that's how I remember the missing the deer is like literally doing a 360. I know that's not how it went.
What? I was gonna say.
That's
I don't
like,
know if they're comparable.
yeah, dude. I think it's because I was like half asleep, so it's very distorted. But in my head, that's how insane it was.
Did Pone swerve super hard?
I don't think so. I think she just like hit on the brakes pretty hard because they were literally right there. But they were all over the mountainside. They were like, and we were right next to them.
That cop warned us.
Yeah.
They were very cumbersome.
They were everywhere.
I don't remember that either.
Remember the thought when we were at that campfire in the creek? Remember the thought of that bear being over there?
Yeah.
Who knows if there was actually a bear, but that was pretty trippy. That was exciting.
Dude, that was definitely a bear.
Feels like it was a bear.
If it was anything for real, it was a bear.
We were all seeing a hallucination of a shadow.
Could have been a moose. but I didn't see any antlers.
Dude, but like it looked thick. It didn't look
It
tall.
looked big.
It just looked round and furry.
And it was in a creek.
Yeah, but how far away was it? It was so far away. I feel like
It's pretty far.
it was just like
Maybe
a little
100
itty
yards.
dot out there.
No, it
Right.
was not a dot. It was closer than that.
I'd say maybe 100 yards.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like a football field's length.
No way. That close?
It was kind of close. It was kind of close.
That's pretty fucking close for a bear.
Yeah, dude, we got out of there.
It was.
They're more freaked out.
It was close enough to leave.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, it was getting kind of closer to dark too, wasn't it? Wasn't it like
It
the
was.
sun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, time to go. We had our fun. That was dope. That was a cool little spot.
Fun trip all around. I really miss snowboarding. I haven't gone in way too long.
Damn. I haven't gone since then.
Oh wow.
The snow looks great in Salt Lake City, Utah right now.
Are you close?
Am I close?
Yeah.
To
To
what?
Salt Lake?
Salt Lake City?
Yeah, Salt Lake.
No, it's like maybe 18 hours from here.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's 12 hours to Denver from it's as close from here to Denver as it is from Illinois to Denver.
Wow, I didn't think it would be that far.
Yeah.
Right. That's one place we need to go.
Salt Lake,
Yeah, or Lake Tahoe.
Utah in general is beautiful.
Yeah, you've been to the south, right?
Yeah. Grace and Joe are planning to move to Utah.
Which city?
She's doing the rim to rim to rim Grand Canyon hike right now.
Nice. That's so cool.
It's like iced over
That's what I thought.
and water shut off.
Oh Lord.
So, I mean, they're playing with fire.
You get Zion.
That's crazy.
That was funny. Yeah, it's 18 hours and 2 minutes to Salt Lake City from here.
You wouldn't think
That's
it.
far.
You're pretty far south in Texas.
No,
Where's
Texas-
Fort Worth within the
Texas
state?
is just fucking huge.
Where's
So,
Fort-
so you got the panhandle of Texas, which goes way further north. The panhandle of Texas goes damn near to Carbon, like equivalent to Carbondale, Illinois, as far as latitude, right? But Fort Worth is still like in North Texas, but it's like the same latitude as the top of Louisiana or Atlanta. So it's considered like North Texas. But not as far north as Amarillo, right? So it's still pretty far.
And that's where you live.
What?
Fort Worth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's 11 hours to Denver from here.
I wouldn't know. You never invited me, so
I haven't invited anybody. I got no time for that.
that's cool.
We'll remember that, Dan.
Don't worry, guys. One day. I got some things in the works.
I hope so.
Apparently, I'm coming back up to Illinois here pretty soon for whenever his wedding is. An unscheduled event there. But yeah, I mean, we want to either do like Blub, you want to go to Corpus Christi, and so do I. So I think we should go to Corpus Christi or South Padre or something. Although I hear the beach isn't like anything special in Texas. It's kind of dirty.
Dirty. Love
Yeah.
it. Like I like dirty.
What kind of like dirty? Like because the people trash it, or because of like seaweed or some shit?
No, it's just like the water is like murky, and the sand
Oh.
the sand isn't like pristine. It's not, yeah, people haven't trashed it. It's just that part of the Gulf is just not as like the water and sand isn't as pristine.
Interesting.
That's what I
I feel
hear.
like over Corpus Christi it was, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you, to be honest.
I'm just saying what I've been told. I haven't actually been there, but I want to.
Yeah, I want some first-hand experience.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to the beach probably since last time I went to Florida, which was
Like
that
3 years ago. I think 2019.
Yeah, that'd be true because we got our house in 19 and we signed like the day after we got back. That was a fun trip.
Man,
Jackie was
damn
there.
near 3 years later now. Shit.
Listen, sell your house while the market's up.
No,
Sell right now.
and then live where?
Take your money and run. Go.
No, not yet. Market is good though. It would sell very fast.
Do it.
I wonder what it would appraise at. Do you think you'd be up? How much?
Uh,
Not do you think you'd be up? How much would you be up?
I think I looked at it on Zillow one time and like it's like estimated at like 130. And I believe we bought it for 115, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
So about 15,000, but that's estimated. I'm not really sure what all they use to find that number, but it would definitely be up. And then we put X amount of dollars into it, just paying mortgage.
That's not 15K is not bad for 2 years.
No.
Not too
Listen,
bad.
did you get a good interest rate?
Yeah, I don't remember what I mean. I went through my mom, so she made sure I didn't get hosed.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Did you look at maybe refinancing with the lower interest rates right now?
Well, I could have. I guess I still could, but since my income is a little bit different nowadays,
Okay.
that'd be because of that. It maybe wouldn't be a good idea. But I mean, I'm claiming everything on my taxes, so
Right. But you got to do that for 2 years.
right.
Booty.
Yeah, how were you able to get a loan when you have basically all? I guess no, that's not true because you were with you were on like steady income with River City.
Right.
So that's how you were able to get that last time. Because now it's different in the fact that you're all contracted basically. We're independent.
I still have W-2s from Titan and River City. They're not very high, but after this year that I have an entire year of income documented, then that's 1 year like Love saying, and then I'll have another one, and it won't be any different because I'm making more.
They take the average of the 2 years too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what I've been told.
Yeah. So
We're just savages. Because that might get me on like trying to get a house right now too.
what's the housing market like there? It's gotta be high as fuck. Yeah.
So 115 barely gets you anything.
Yeah. I mean, like our house is nice. Our neighborhood,
Right.
our neighborhood's okay. The immediate neighborhood is really nice. And if you go a little bit too far, a few blocks, it gets a little seedy. But for the most part, our house is super nice.
Yeah. So if I compare your house to the ones I've looked at that are like your house, probably about 250.
That's crazy.
It's sad. When I look at them, I'm just like, geez. Because then I look at what I can afford. I'm like, oh no.
It's supply and demand, right? The demand for a Florida residence is
Yeah, I guess partially. Yeah,
everybody wants to go there.
it has been. But there's plenty on the market too. I feel like, at least. I think people just aren't buying them now because they're too elevated.
You could get a smaller house that's still nice,
Yeah.
but it's whether or not you want to do that or just hold out for something better or wait a couple of years when the hype isn't so high in the housing market.
Well, I've already even started to notice a downtrend too over the last couple of months.
It's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, but when I'm looking at it though, I'm looking at I look at the trend for over the last however many years, and then it goes from 2019 January, so a year ago, to now, and all the houses are up like 100%.
100?
Literally 100%. Yes.
Wow.
It's crazy. So like something that you look at that should cost 100,000, 150,000 is now, 250 to 300,000. So like, I don't want to buy something like that and all of a sudden it goes half its price. Yeah, that'd be sad.
It'd be
Be a
very
hard
sad.
pill.
But you gotta turn it into a rental though, because at that point, so many people are gonna lose their homes that they're gonna have to rent.
That's
So
true.
so at least if you have a home, like yeah, its actual value goes down, but it's gonna come back up. However, so many people are gonna be kicked. They're gonna not be able to afford their house. They're gonna look to rent. So you just turn it into an investment property at that point.
That's true. Rent's really high right now too.
Mm-hmm.
But you're locked into what you've been paying.
So no, it went up.
How much?
Just like 100. But then we've even looked at what it costs now to get in our same complex for the same thing, and it's like 200 more than what we pay.
On top of the 100?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So you're there's always some benefits to sticking around in place.
There is, because it's expensive to move too.
Yeah, whenever you're a newcomer, they're gonna hit you with the highest rate because that's what their new prices are.
Right.
One of the real estate guys that I follow did say that one of the top 3 cities to invest in is Orlando.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That was for buying houses.
Because of those ridiculous rent rates, though.
It is. It's pretty crazy.
Because I guess because you're saying like things are between about 250,000, but average market price he says is like 250,000. So it's probably getting up to the point where it's getting to average, and he's always looking to buy things that are like between 200 and 250,000 if he's going to turn them into investment properties, because like those homes are going to be able to you're going to be able to charge the most rent for those, and if rent's that high, then it's still a good market for it, especially with so many people still moving to Florida.
True.
Tons of people moving to Florida.
People just need to stop moving here. AKA my brother.
From New York and Chicago, the Northeast, because Northeast, they're already, those Northeastern are always snowbirds anyway.
There's a lot of New York people here.
Mm-hmm.
Ton of New York people. Lots of Illinois.
That's annoying. They ruin one state and then go to the good one just to start voting Democrat and ruin that one.
I've met a lot of people from New York that are like older, that moved here, 15, 20 years ago type stuff.
That's different.
Yeah, maybe they saw it coming 20 years ago.
I think New York is the state with the most people that have left in the past year.
Yeah, most people leaving.
Yeah,
California was up pretty high.
I think
California and New York are really neck and neck in that one.
It's crazy.
Well,
it's understandable.
They've turned their states and cities into a wasteland that's crime ridden.
Dude, you can't arrest people up to like $950. I think that was California. $950 now.
Yeah, it's insane.
What? What is that?
Have you seen the videos of the smash?
You basically steal an iPhone.
Yeah.
From a store and it's okay.
There's something similar going on here. Did I tell you guys about Stevie's incident at Kohl's?
No.
You watch 2 girls load backpacks full of clothes and just take off. And so she's like kind of dumbfounded and she looks at the cashier. She's like, those girls just ran out with clothes in their bags. And the cashier gets on her walkie-talkie to call down to her manager, like, oh, got another one, happened again. It's like not uncommon.
That's crazy.
So I'm not sure what the exact law is, but that shit's even happening here. Like petty theft has become not arrestable, or it's just not taken seriously, or I don't know. But
so if I'm Stevie, I'm grabbing my things, I'm saying bye, and I'm walking out.
Right.
Then you're part of the problem. You're the reason we can't have nice things, Dan.
It all started with donuts back in the day.
Walmart's blueberry donuts.
Then he probably took the wrapper he was using to hold the donut and threw it on the ground.
More than likely.
That's Dwight again.
This is Dwight. He's the needy one.
Looks nice, chilling.
Is he the Seamus?
What about Seamus?
Is he the Seamus?
Bro, I can't tell anymore. They're kind of shifting on me a little bit. They their personalities are kind of evolving. So I think Dwight's emotional, and he's an emotional eater, and so he's just constantly hungry, and he gets like into bad behavior moods when like Hannah and I aren't home very much, if he's not getting love and cuddles and stuff, because he loves to cuddle. And then she sent me a video. So we have these automatic feeders because we are gone a lot. So we have them on a feed schedule. And Hannah got home one night and I was gone last week, and she was gone for like 12 hours or something. And both of those feeders were unplugged from the wall and just strung across the room. Because I guess one of them had got, I don't know. They just, if he doesn't get, it's all him too. If he doesn't get enough love, he starts acting out, and he took it out on these feeders. It was funny. But and then Jim's just like super chill all the time, and he's also gotten bigger. I think he's the alpha now. I think Jim's the alpha. I used to think he was the beta because he was smaller. He was a runt, but he's bigger, and he's just super calm all the time, but doesn't want to cuddle ever. So their kind of behavior is shifting a little bit. It's kind of cool to watch.
How old are they now? Because you got them like shortly after you moved in, yeah? Which would have been May-ish.
They're about 10 months old. They're a little over 10 months old.
James threw up all over the basement last night.
Like all over?
He's old.
It's like it was like he either like was running circles and throwing up, or he like threw up and then ran through it and then ran circles.
Ew.
What?
All over. And I don't know if it's because Kunu was here last night, so Kunu and Zion were going crazy and he was just like stressed out, so he went down there and puked, or if he's always kind of had stomach problems, but that was like the worst I've ever had to clean up.
So it was just in a circle?
Yeah.
Like it spiraled in a circle?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, dude, I go down and flip on the light. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Was it like a bunch of food, or was it just
It was more watery.
Yeah, just the liquid.
Yeah.
Which is arguably worse because it's kind of harder to clean up.
Yeah.
You can, scoop it with a towel, but I had to take apart all my little cushion squares for the weights, and I just put it under the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. It's a horrible way to start the day.
That is. Whose dog is Kunu?
That's Mark's.
Oh, okay. What is it?
A Labradoodle.
Okay. It's like Ma's old dog.
Lizzie was a Labradoodle.
I'm not sure. I think so.
The brown and black one.
Yeah.
I don't think that was maybe.
That was pretty big. That was a pretty big dog too.
Yeah. So, sort of like that, but kind of longer hair.
Okay.
And now Ma has Lily, and Lily is Kunu's sister.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So they have play dates and shit.
Do they still have does Mom still have the other dog?
No.
No.
No, Lizzie died a while ago.
Lizzie. Yeah, Lizzie. Okay.
Lily hates Zion. For whatever.
Too much energy?
I don't know. I mean, Lily's got quite a bit too. I think she's just a bitch. She'll like bite at him and bark right in his face. Like Zion's just standing there and she'll
Chilling.
have this super loud yappy bark just in his face. But I'm sure Zion's talking shit.
That Surrey's dog is the one I always see Zion with.
Gronk.
Yeah, it's a Gronk.
Probably. We had Gronk last week or 2 weeks ago. One of the recent weeks we watched him for a couple of days. Surrey and Bree went to St. Louis for a little trip.
Yeah.
Gronk's super cool, man. We'll watch him, no problem. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He started humping Zion at one point. I had to beat his ass.
It's some guy on guy action.
It's like Zion ain't about that gay shit.
Hey, Blood.
Yeah.
Look what we got.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Sweet.
I haven't even opened it yet.
Figure it out, Dan.
We'll have to get on it one on one and figure this shit out.
Make sure you're good and ready. You got to write down your seed phrase right away.
26 words.
Yeah.
Dan, did it come from some European country?
I don't think so.
When I was looking at him, the company didn't.
Made in France.
Yeah, that's what I thought. How long did it take you to get it?
I don't know. It was a Christmas present.
My projected shipping arrivement was like 2 to 3 weeks when I was looking at it.
Sounds about right.
Not terrible. From
No.
France.
Yeah.
This
I'm
says
pretty sure I bought mine on Amazon, which you're not supposed to do.
Why? Because it might be fake.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hacked, bro.
But I'm good. I've had it for like 2 years. I'm good.
They're gonna wait a little bit to make you think you're good, and then
It's been long enough.
they're gonna wait until you start building up your profile more, and then they're gonna come.
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
is there like, because we know that the impending or impeding the Alcon work is going to take off pretty soon. So is there even a point of putting it on here right now? Because if it's on here, then I can't sell.
You can sell
It's
it.
true. They actually, you can link them up to an exchange on there too. I'm not sure which one it is though. I don't use it, but I mean, if you're around it, you can just transfer it quick. But the whole idea is to keep it safe. So like, if it goes up, it goes crazy, there's probably going to be more hackers on the exchanges and websites and stuff.
Because I have a few coins that will I don't because I went all my XRP on there for when because it's gonna go off and it's gonna go off quick. The XRP is the only one I want to take gains out of. So I feel like I should just leave that on there. But I might put like all the Cardano, the XLM on there.
Yeah, it depends. Are you doing anything with your Cardano and your other stuff? Like, are you staking them or anything? Or are they just chilling?
They're just chilling.
I'd say if they're just chilling, I'd put them on there.
We'll have to have a separate call when we just talk all about that. Set that up.
How about you set it up now and tell us your 26 word? So
Yeah.
We can make
so
sure.
we hold it just in case.
Yeah.
It's for your safety.
Yeah, we're doing this for you, Dan.
I want the whole world to know.
I really thought the altcoins were going to take off by now.
Yeah, you would have thought, right?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's just depressing.
I've only been waiting for like 3 years. Any day now. I never realized how close, like, after the 2017-18 bull cycle, how close we bought into it. So my first buy was like April 2019, I think, 2019.
Yeah, mine too.
Buy of what? Of XRP?
Yeah.
Mine would have been shortly after that because I remember talking about it when we were in Florida on vacation.
Right. I'm pretty sure mine was April 2019.
When are we supposed to get that stuff on BitTrue?
Which one? The
Whatever coin.
the solo one?
No, Yeah.
15th maybe. I might have made that up. 15th, 22nd.
And it just
Where
drops.
is
It just drops into our assets.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did see that blockchain backer posted a video today, said that Bitcoin hit the 702.
It was a retracement. Yeah, it was a specific.
So now he's waiting for it. That's a good signal. So now it's either gonna, it's gonna crash through it or it's gonna bounce back up into the retracement. And in the retracement is when the altcoins go.
Allegedly.
Blow.
We're still waiting for all that going to happen. But yeah, my account is, it is. It's depressing. It's just been going downward for like the last 2 weeks.
And the most depressing aspect is when you start to consider when you bought. And you're just like, if I would have waited, I could have bought now. Because you just see yourself losing money on what gains you could have been making buying lower.
Yeah. But you just never know. You just never know.
BCH do you have now, Bluff?
I'm still chilling with 5. I haven't put money into crypto for a little bit.
I haven't either.
It got too depressing. I got tired of it. I just couldn't do anymore. The past 2 months has been straight red.
Yeah.
It's been sad.
I feel like now's a great time if you have some extra money laying around.
Yeah, it looks like most of the charts have kind of bottomed out.
God, I hope so. Seeing BCH in the 300s, it was real.
Oh, that was bad.
Damn.
That was disgusting.
Pissed. Yes.
That was awful. Did you buy more? You didn't buy more?
I haven't bought any for months. I have 4. I think that's plenty.
Probably. I just wanted it to happen. Like,
I just want
more money.
Just take it past the all-time high. That much.
That part.
If it goes, my goal is to sell one once it passes the all-time high, and then I'll probably hold on to it unless it goes to like 10K. If it goes to 10K, I'm gonna sell another one.
Same. 10, 15, 18.
10, 15.
You don't really hear him talk a lot about it, but blockchain backer sounds like he has quite a bit of BCH and Ethereum Classic.
I think so.
Because those are the ones that haven't popped off yet.
Yeah,
Or
and
Ethereum
Dash.
Classic did have a little bit of a run, but it's been shit ever since.
Yeah, I feel like Ethereum Classic did go past its points. I have his trading program. I'm gonna have to go on there because he updated it not too long ago. And I could probably see.
Does he have his entire exit strategy?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It's kind of, well, I've sent you guys like a snapshot of it before, and he just puts out like where he's going to be selling. Well, he gives you the different targets, but he'll give like market updates every like quarter or something based on whatever, and he'll say what he did.
What do you pay for that? Is it monthly?
No, it was like a $40 one-time payment.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
But like now at this point in time, it's almost like all outdated.
Oh, he doesn't.
I bought it like 2 years ago, I think.
He doesn't add to it?
Quarterly.
Damn. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is only $3.79 right now.
Yeah, you should buy one.
Yeah.
Join the party.
It's tempting.
Go take a loan out in your car.
I've been tempting for a while.
I feel like all my coins haven't done shit, so it's only a matter of time.
I hope so.
Right? Like, it has to happen.
You would think.
At some point. I don't care how long I have to wait. We've gotten this far.
Oh, but I want to buy a house.
Dude, XRP hits. So how many XRP do you have?
28,500.
Damn.
now. I had more, but then things happen. I don't have them anymore. So I got 28,500.
That's a lot.
I had to dip into the tank. That is a lot.
I bought a lot.
But then you sent your buddies, and your buddy has like 155,000. I was like,
No, he's got 350,000.
What?
Yeah.
that's so many.
It's an outrageous amount. And almost like 100,000 XLM at this point.
Good for him. He's gonna be
Yeah.
very rich here soon.
Got a lot of faith in it.
He's got money to put in, and he just keeps buying more. He's bought a lot of amp too. Dash.
It makes me feel good about my amp and XLM holdings.
So he's heavy into it.
Dude, I made a good amount of money on XLM. I probably made like 10 grand on XLM.
Really?
But then I put it into strong, and it's just been going.
I've lost.
But yeah, dude, I remember I saw one of my best buys was like, I don't know, I think I put $100 in at like 5 cents on XLM and got like 1,000 XLM. And I sold them when they were like, I think around 40 something.
Nice. Yeah, that's
So
really,
like 5 cents to 40 some cents. It's a good return.
yeah.
That was my Doge return.
I need amp to do that. Because amp's been steady at about 5 cents.
Mhm.
That can go to 40. I think I have like 2,000 amp.
Amp's it's been staying low.
3,000.
It's got a real use case too, doesn't it? I can't remember what it is.
It's what would you call it? It's like collateral.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I have 3,000.
Nice. What's it at?
It's a 4 cents 35. So 4.5 cents.
Nice.
You know what? I'll go ahead and put $100 on amp right now.
That's my boy.
I almost bought something the other day, but then I just talked myself out of it. I was like, you don't need to do that. Don't do it. Keep your money.
Like the devil and the angel on your shoulder.
It's just so unfortunate when it goes down.
I just believe that crypto is so young.
It is.
And
100%.
to just get in on the right coins and hold them could make someone a lot of money in the future.
Yeah, I think in 10 years it's going to be undeniable. It's going to be crazy.
It's just
Especially all the metaverse and Web3 and all that shit.
Bro, have you ever used an Oculus?
Well, when they first came out.
It's insane. I couldn't fucking believe it. And it was both amazing and terrifying. Because it's like I can just see how many people will get this thing and never leave their house.
Yeah. Plus they're so I was watching Rogan earlier. So since last time we talked, I downloaded Spotify and I've been watching Jerry. It's been great.
Yeah.
His last one with Adam Curry, they were talking about they looked it up, but like a first metaverse job is they had somebody that's going to deliver packages. It's like essentially like a cart, but he puts on his Oculus and he can control it with his Oculus. So he can be at home in his Oculus and he can drive this cart to make deliveries.
He's literally working in the metaverse.
I mean, he's using virtual reality, using Oculus. I guess that's considered a metaverse because it's like metaverse is essentially the real life mixed with gaming and bullshit.
Wait, so is metaverse like metaverse just a name for what you described, or is there an actual metaverse?
I believe it's the mixture of the two. But metaverse, I guess, is used to describe like a virtual reality. But there's going to be like multiple metaverses probably that interact with each other. So like different worlds on virtual reality.
Okay. Did you see that somebody bought a house next to Snoop Dogg? And it says the metaverse, but apparently it's just a metaverse. It was like $45,000. $45,000 for a fake house next to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, dude. People are spending money on it. It's ridiculous.
I have some Decentraland. That's about it.
It's the new real estate.
Did you buy that on Coinbase?
Yes.
They got on there pretty fast.
Yeah. I did watch a movie last night that is pretty cool. You guys should maybe check it out. It's called American Animals. Have you
Okay.
heard of it?
I haven't heard of it.
So it's a true story about these kids in college that plan a heist in what college was that? It was in Kentucky. No, I can't remember. Anyway, this one kid goes to Kentucky. The other three did not, but they had this like huge book with a flamingo in it, and it was like really, really, really old. And then there was like one of Darwin's first books and a few other ones. And these four kids just staged this really poorly orchestrated heist, and it just goes through all like the whole storyline. And then the kids, they have the real kids because they all did some time, and it has them giving their perspective of the story. And like in the middle of the movie, things will change right before your eyes. So like one kid's talking about it, and he's like, yeah, we met with this guy, like, because the one's doing the lookout, and then the other guy is meeting with this dude on the side of the street, and their perception of what this guy looked like was 100% different. So while one person's telling the story, like the guy's wearing like just street clothes and kind of looks sketchy, and then the other kid's telling his side of the story, and all of a sudden the guy's got like a suit on, and he looks like this businessman. And it just kind of plays off how distorted people's recollection are based on how they were like emotionally looking at the situation. But it was fucking wacky. Like the fact that it was real was mind-blowing.
Yeah. Is that like, do they have like archives of the case or anything? Like, do they play any documentary type stuff on there too, or is it just all kind of fictional? Besides the storyline.
What do you mean?
Like, do they actually play like videotape of like these guys really in real life? Because it's based on real.
Yeah, they play interviews, but there's
Real ones.
real interviews.
Does it match up with like the story of the movie?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's all pretty pretty consistent.
Sounds interesting. What'd you watch it on?
Flex.
Mm.
Which you might be able to find it on whatever streaming service you use. But
Tony and I watched a really good series the other day called Invisible Monsters, Serial Killers in America.
ooh.
And it goes over like the 70s and 80s. And it goes the top 5 serial killers. And it's pretty crazy because I learned about 2 that I had no idea about, which was the BTK killer and then the Green River killer.
I knew about the Green River killer. He killed women.
Mostly prostitutes. But he didn't get caught until 2004, and he started in the 70s.
That's insane.
And his goal was to kill 100 people, and he confessed to 80.
Thanks, 20 short.
They had him documented at like they had documented 40 something murders, but he said he did 80, and then part of he was gonna get life, or I'm sorry, he was gonna get death penalty, but he said that part of the deal was in exchange for his life, keep him alive, that he would show him where he killed or where he buried a bunch of people.
That's fucking wacky.
It was a pretty crazy story. And then
Dang.
the other one, BTK, it stands for bind, torture, kill.
Oh, God.
And his was pretty crazy too. He was a serial killer in the 70s, but then he stopped. He had a kid. He got married and had a kid, and then he stopped for like 7 or 10 years to raise his family. And then he was like kind of low key after that, but he didn't get caught until 2001. And because he was doing like his family man stuff, and so he was actually like part of his church. He was like one of the pastors of his church, and then he was also working with the police. He was like I want to say like a neighborhood watch almost, but I think a little bit more than that with the police force. And
That's fucking bizarre.
Bro,
Dude, it's crazy.
Working with the police, a pastor, and a married family man, and nobody knows that he's just murdering bitches.
Nobody.
we
That's
watched
so fucking crazy.
we watched a movie that sounds exactly like you're talking about.
I feel like I watched that movie the other day too.
Like the
With
guy's he's a family man, he's got a shed.
Yeah.
The kid gets in there and finds the photos and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So that's what me and Sony were talking about that. We're like, this is like a ripoff of the BTK killer.
I'm sure it was inspired by it.
Yeah, because it was very similar.
Yeah, it's like
And,
it's spot on.
yeah, and I'm so mad that kid didn't shoot his dad.
Yeah, pussy.
When he walked in, well, he didn't even have the ammo in his gun.
Right. Well, he pulled the trigger, didn't he? Or no?
The dad did. The dad took it from him and then was going to kill him, but he realized he pulled the trigger and there wasn't ammo.
Oh yeah. It's been a while since we've seen it, but it was a good flick.
It was it was pretty good. But yeah, so BTK killer, he got mad. So how he got caught was he got mad that somebody was going to make a documentary about him. And essentially he felt like somebody was going to take over his story and he didn't like that. So he started communicating with the police through like different entities. So he'd like send like letters to news stations in different places. And he did like kind of real random stuff. And then so one letter he sent, he was like, can you track me through a floppy disk? He was communicating with the FBI or the police. Can you track me through a floppy disk? Be honest. And then like some other stuff. And obviously they told him, no, we can't. And they're lying. You can track them. And so when they got the floppy disk, they plugged it in and it said where it came from was Christ Lutheran Church. And it had his name, Dennis, on there. So then they Googled it and it popped up right away, Dennis Rader, Christ Lutheran Church in the area. And then they also had a video because back in the 70s, there wasn't any of that shit. So they couldn't do any of that. And then, so now it's 2001 and now they had another video of when he dropped off something in somebody's truck at like a supermarket. They had video of his car and they knew what car he had. So they went to his house. They like drove by and saw his Jeep Grand Cherokee or whatever that was out there. And then they're like, okay, yeah, that's him for sure. But then they couldn't get him. They couldn't convict him because they didn't have enough evidence to convict him. So they pulled up DNA from the crime scenes and they matched it to his daughter's DNA. And the only way they could get his daughter's DNA is because now she was in college and she had something like something she had to go to the medical at the college hospital and they had her DNA in the system. So they got a warrant and got her DNA to match it to his that was matched to the crime scenes.
Why was his daughter's DNA at the crime scene?
It was at the college she was going to. Because she went to do something medical.
Their DNA.
Yeah. So they had to get a warrant to get her DNA, low key. And they matched her DNA to Dennis Rader's DNA to her dad, which matched his DNA to the crime scene.
Once the feds get a whiff, man, they're pretty accurate.
It's so scary too, because like all this stuff was happening with no technology, like no cell phones, no computers, no DNA, none of that. So back in the 70s, everybody had no idea like what the hell was going on.
It was way easier to get away with back then.
So much easier. They killed so many people.
So does it say when the last time he killed was?
I'd have to look it up to be exact, but I think it was like one of his neighbors was one of the last people that killed.
What year though? He got caught in 01 or 04, what'd you say?
He got caught in 2001.
So like imagine going 20 years without killing and you think you're in the clear and the next thing you know, feds bust down your door.
Yeah, he's being an idiot though.
Yeah, Dan, you should watch that movie. It's pretty twisted.
What's it called?
The Something Killer. Do you remember, Blove? It's a name of a city. It's like it starts with a C or an H. So BTK killer movie. See if it pops right up. Nope.
I don't remember what it was. It probably was on Netflix then too.
Yeah, I can't remember what we saw it on. Movie about psycho dad.
So Dennis Rader's last kill was January 19th, 1991. So 10 years later, he got caught.
10 years later?
Yeah. And so him and the Green River Killer are still alive. Those are only 2 of the 5 that are still alive.
Who are the other 3?
Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Dahmer. And Dahmer's story was pretty bad. That was disgusting.
Dude, Dahmer was fucked up.
It's because he was Jeffrey Dahmer was eating them though.
Well, I mean, Gacy, dude, all those guys. I actually just listened to a podcast about Gacy yesterday. Dan, it's called the Clove Hitch Killer.
Yeah, that's right.
Clove Hitch Killer.
It's really good.
It is pretty good.
I watched that John Wayne Gacy documentary. It's kind of boring. There's a John Wayne Gacy documentary on Peacock, is what it was.
I think I saw that.
It was boring.
Well, a documentary can only be so exciting. They're only telling a story. They're not like staging it like a movie would be.
Yeah, I guess.
So what I was watching it was on Hulu, but it was the A&E series. So if you have like A&E somehow, it might be on there.
I mean, everything we watched was on Plex. So what was it? What was the title of it?
Vanishing People, Serial Killers in America.
We'll look it up. I'm about to piss my pants, so
I'm gonna grab another beer and I'll be right back.
yeah, you can just stand there and be alone with no friends.
I'll be waiting for you guys so impatiently.
What is that? Stop.
What did it look like?
I don't know. I was really confused at first. All right, for my next trick, I have a Japanese classic ale.
I like the little apple.
Nice little. Not sure.
Japanese. So is it a Japanese beer?
It is correct.
Just name like that. Interesting.
Hitachino Nest. And yes, I just read Japanese.
You're making me craving beer right now. I haven't got any.
It's from the Kuchi Brewery.
The Coochie?
Kuchi Brewery, it's a product of Japan.
So in that movie we watched last night, there's a librarian that has a pretty significant role. I don't really want to give anything away, but her actual name is BJ Gooch. So I believe it was Betty Jean, but she went by BJ, and her last name was fucking Gooch. Gooch.
Wow.
That's not. Was that a real name?
I
From a
swear,
real person?
they have her on there for an interview. Like I said, she has a really significant role in the whole thing, and you know it says Betty BJ Gooch.
That's crazy.
Her parents did not protect her with that one.
No. Well, I don't know if Gooch was a thing back then. I'm not sure when that name was assigned, but Betty Jean is pretty popular.
You want to know something interesting facts? So I'm listening to this Adam Curry podcast with Rogan, and they start talking about how plastics in the water are turning men into women almost, essentially. Turn the frogs okay.
Like plastic bottles?
Yeah, so one of the precursors to when I say less male hormones in a male is their gooch gets smaller and smaller. And as it gets smaller, apparently you're more feminine with your hormones.
How's your gooch shrink?
Over time, it's gonna happen like over. I'm not saying probably in generations, not just like in one.
So it's not an individual, it's generational.
What?
I think so. They were studying animals and they were seeing it in the animals.
Okay.
That their gooches were getting smaller and it was causing them to be less of male.
Huh.
Is that just because people in general are becoming smaller?
It was animals, not people.
Right, but okay, so but that's what would have to happen. I mean, like you
Their
would
gooches were
what's the manly size of a gooch so I can measure mine and check to make sure I'm man enough?
get out of the table.
I think
Was it like, what's the space? Like,
oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a Reddit. Should I believe Reddit?
maybe.
Yes, everything is accurate on the internet, bro.
So this is about male fertility. It says male fertility is highly correlated with the link between the scrotum and the anus, aka the taints. The average size is 2 inches.
2 inches?
Okay. Bet.
That was a Reddit
I'll do
post.
some measuring. I'll text you guys my measurement later tonight.
But that's what kind of what they were discussing too, is like fertility and like things like that.
Who is Adam Curry? How does he know this?
He is the father of podcasting, the first person to podcast.
So he just knows a bunch of information.
I
Because
think so.
Rogan at this point had like it's amazing what this Adam Curry and then what Rogan, what their mental database is. Just from how many conversations with so many conversations with so many intelligent people with so many fascinating stories.
I actually just pulled up a study on the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health, and it is what they were talking about.
The animals with shrinking taints had less fertility?
Yes. But now they're relating it to humans. So they're saying it's causes adult men to be infertile.
So what's the cause?
Plastics in the water.
Okay, hang on. So the taint is exactly what again? What's the space?
From the
2 inches.
No, not the size. What is it? What is the space? From what to what?
Between your scrotum and your anus.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be your butthole, right? It would be like, because that's not 2 inches.
Your anus is the scientific term for butthole.
Yeah,
You're
but
less infertile. It's not 2 inches.
No, it'd be longer. Because I always thought the gooch was like from where like the ass cheeks ended to the ball sack.
Because your butthole, apparently.
There's no way.
The conclusion of the study is a longer anogenital distance, so that's what they're referring to it as, is associated with fatherhood and may predict normal male reproductive potential. Thus, AGD, which is anogenital distance, may provide a novel metric to assess reproductive potential in men. So it's a real thing.
You say so. My
I
gooch definitely.
bet it's been freaking 70. That's for sure.
Hold on.
Is that only two? Is that what the average is only 2 inches? That's kind of wild.
That's what Reddit said.
That's not right.
Maybe Reddit was wrong, but this is not Reddit anymore.
Well, what does that article say?
I'll look up average gooch length.
It does say that infertile men possess significantly shorter distances.
Average anogenital distance. That's what it is.
So this has the shorter ones were 31.8 on average millimeters, and the longer normal ones were 44.6 millimeters.
Can we not use the stupid European system? Can we use?
I can't. I don't know how to.
Metric. Village Voice.
Okay, so
Dude, who would have thought that there was so much behind the length of a gooch?
so it's AGD is significantly correlated with sperm density and total motile sperm count.
You said 44 millimeters?
44.6 millimeters was the fertile group.
That's only, let's see, that's only 1.75 inches.
That was the people within the study. All right, and then it also says each 1 centimeter increase in a man's AGD, the sperm density increases by 4.3 million sperm per milliliter. On an adjusted analysis, no correlation was seen between penile length and semen parameters. So it's based on your gooch. That's crazy.
There's a PubMed. It's funny. I typed in average and then ano, and then I typed in the G for genital, and it was the first thing. So it was average ano, and then the first suggestion was average anogenital distance.
Think about how many motherfuckers have searched this since Rogan's podcast came out, which is like one of the most listened to on any platform.
It's apparently the most listened to. You saw that graph I sent you.
That Adam Curry one, it's the last one he had, and it's pretty good. They go over a lot of different stuff, very broad. I learned a lot from the Dr. Malone one too. That one was very interesting.
That one was terrible.
That was extremely interesting. I listened to that one. It's good to hear. It's crazy because, like, you know what's crazy? What's crazy is, okay, because after all these podcasts, obviously the searches blow up, and so I really did look up the psychosis. What do they say? Mass
formation psychosis.
So I did that. I Googled mass formation I researched mass formation psychosis on Google and then on DuckDuckGo. And on DuckDuckGo, you get a bunch of there's a bunch of different results. You get, Dr. Malone pops up. You get his kind of like his work history. You get some opinion articles. You kind of get like the whole thing, right?
Right.
You do it on Google, and the first thing is that the definition or the results of this term are inconclusive recently or something like that. So and then the next two are opinion articles that are just shitting on Dr. Malone, calling him an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah,
like literally one of the founders of vaccines.
He made it and he's vaccinated.
But he's and he's vaccinated. But they call him an anti-vaxxer. I was like, that's where, like, I was already being turned off by Google. That's why I'm on DuckDuckGo now. That was just icing on the cake. I'm like, Google is really filtering all the information that people see.
Yeah, they filter hard, because I did the same thing. And like, I think the first thing that popped up for me was some video, some guy that reviews other videos, and I'm like, this guy has no fucking clue what he's talking about. It looks like just some scrub that just decided to make a video that was just hating on Dr. Malone.
Yeah. And I think that's what they do. They want to, because it's super liberal, so they'll just find anything that is anti-vaccination or anti-Republican or anti-conservative, and that's the first thing that they'll put up there.
So
or
that
anti-COVID mandates and all that shit.
That Adam Curry one, they go over that exactly too, the mass formation psychosis, and he kind of explains it differently and says that it's a little bit different than how Dr. Malone's explained it, and he makes a lot of sense too, and what he says, and he kind of explains a little bit better, I feel like. So that was interesting. I can't say it off the top of my head, but it's in there. And I forgot what else I was gonna say.
Shit. I'm like 2 hours in, I believe,
Oh, that one?
of the Malone podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's just insane how quickly these people get deplatformed from Twitter. It's just a fucking slap in the face of free speech. It's like, what are you worried about? Like, how come people that say the earth is flat, or have you guys seen this birds aren't real?
Yeah.
Okay, so why aren't they being fucking deplatformed? Because it's a
Well,
joke.
Alex Jones did, but
Yeah, but
for other reasons.
Yeah, he's political. But like, how come all these people can say how the earth is flat and spread quote unquote disinformation, but people like Malone and who was the other doctor? McCullough?
Peter Makula or something like that.
Yeah, that's not right.
He got booted off Twitter too. It's like, well, if what they're saying is bullshit, then let the people decide, just like the flat earth and the birds aren't real. But clearly there's an agenda to hide what they're saying.
Because it's truth.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So they want to get rid of the truth. They don't care about other disinformation that confuses the public, but they do care about truth that would confuse the public. Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Twitter really needs to die. Twitter is a terrible landscape of ideas.
I agree. Awful. Terrible.
So Rogan just joined some new social media app.
Getter.
Yeah. And he basically had a call to action for everybody to leave Twitter and go. So, you know, you'll have some conservatives say just because it's Twitter, it's one of the biggest social media apps there is, and then the liberals will stay. But think about, I think there was more downloads on that day that Rogan put out his tweet than any day ever before on Getter.
Nice.
So we could be seeing a pendulum swing right now with all these attacks on Rogan, who is such an impactful voice in our generation.
Hang on one sec.
Very true.
It's got to happen. I mean, everything goes in phases.
That's true. Everything goes in ways.
We shall see.
You measure your gooch tonight?
Yeah, I definitely am.
Of course.
Dan just did.
So Twitter's stock price is plummeting.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Good.
Apparently, Dorsey is making a new social media that's supposed to be decentralized.
Fuck that.
Jack Dorsey.
Really?
Yeah, Adam Curry was talking about it and trying to say that Dorsey's all about decentralization, which one of his tweets recently, right after he left Twitter, was actually made a lot of sense towards that. And I was kind of surprised that he actually said what he did say. So I don't know. I don't know how much of that, him being a part of Twitter, was because he got fired and then he came back. They wanted him back. So I don't know, like, how much of that was like him just being like the face of Twitter, and like, does he actually really want to be on Twitter, or is he now trying to compete with Twitter with something else, something better? Is he for the people or is he against the people? So I don't know.
Did he step down?
Yeah, he left. I'm pretty sure.
So this hypothesis is that we all thought he was trying to censor, when in reality he may have just been the face and the head of, and he was being persuaded and pushed to do that, so that's why he left.
Yeah, it's possible scenario.
He did look miserable every single time I saw his face.
He did,
because he originally got fired from Twitter and then they asked him to come back because it was going bad for them.
Twitter's stock price is down 37% over the last 3 months.
Good.
But yeah, and you saw those stats, like Joe Rogan's pulling in 11 million views per show on average, right? And then like nothing else is even close. Nothing else
No,
is even
not at all.
like 10% of that.
Nothing
But
makes
after that, which is it's really interesting too, because if you look at the next like 5 shows on that list, they're all on Fox.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And they're not doing nearly as well as Rogan, but the next like 4 or 5 shows are on Fox. Most watched, and we still have. So it's just like there's definitely a filter being put up for the public to see, but it's shared by very, 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 very few people. They're just being shouted so goddamn loud. It's like there's no way right now that the top 6 shows in America are like definitely veer more conservative, and Joe Biden got 81 million votes. There's just no way.
Dude, you know what's incredibly insulting is how they compare January 6th to Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
It's disgusting.
Like how?
Absolutely fucking absurd.
How?
It's absolutely absurd. And
how can you get on that train?
Insane.
People
who are saying that are absolutely insane.
You wonder how many liberals were watching that and go, yeah. And then how many are like shaking their head thinking, even I'm not this fucking far left.
Yeah, that's so fucking crazy.
It's disrespectful to all the lives and all the families that were affected by those 2 dates, because you go to January 6th, there was 1 death and it was a fucking protester.
Yeah.
Then they have like a candlelight vigilant for it and shit on the stairs of the Capitol. It's such a fucking
dude, watch this, and the next time that there's a real president in office and that gets investigated and it comes out that the FBI was involved in that too, and they're gonna pretend like right now that this is equivalent to Pearl Harbor or September 11th. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck all that, and every single one of those people just needs to be thrown into North Korea.
Dude,
so disgusting.
You know it was orchestrated just by how hard they're holding on to it.
Right? They're trying so hard.
They wanted this to happen so that they could keep shoving it back into the faces of conservatives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who actually feels like that meant anything?
Nobody
except the people on TV saying it and trying to convince the other people. Literally, Pearl Harbor was over 2,000 deaths just in Pearl Harbor, and then it literally got us into World War II. What the fuck?
Yeah. And this is worse.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
September 11th got us into a 20-year war.
Well, and that was 3,000 deaths alone. And then Kamala, who has the lowest approval rating of any vice president ever, has the balls to go out and compare it to those 2 dates.
Fuck all. It's I can't believe. Like, how are we in this situation? I wonder if anybody thinks that this is a better situation than when we had Trump as president.
I think a lot of people do.
That's absolutely insane. We're just being force-fed bullshit every single day.
Right. I think a lot of people are waking up to that though too.
Yes,
it's just.
I think they are too.
And I think
they're definitely going to hold their hand.
The whole booster and still getting COVID, I think, is affecting a lot of people as well.
Okay, imagine going and buying a product and then it fucking breaks. And then they're like, hey, send it back. We'll fix it and we'll get it to you. And then it breaks again. And then they're like, oh, send it back and we'll fix it and give it back to you. And it breaks again. You know, that's what this booster is. It's literally going back to a company that has not delivered their promise 4 times.
Xbox did that to me. People are still doing it. Like, people are still getting boosters. There's so many things wrong with it. There's so many things wrong with it. First, like, now the narrative is shifting on it. Now that all the Democrats are trying to sound like we were literally a year ago.
Yep.
So what the fuck's that all about? Now people literally had to quit their job or forced to leave their job for not getting vaccinated. But now
that's still happening.
Every single person, damn near, like, what are the stats on it? How many people that are in the hospitals right now are vaccinated but have COVID? Everybody who's testing positive are COVID. Like,
I don't know what the stats are.
They had to fucking lose their jobs. Get the fuck out of here.
It's ridiculous. Blood, you're not in the group chat that Bluff sent, but somebody was asking one of the CDC directors how many of their employees were vaccinated, and she wouldn't answer the question. She would not give a solid answer
They
because
do that with every like hard question. They say I'm not at liberty to discuss, or like I don't have those numbers in front of me, and they just divert the whole time when they should know the answer.
they absolutely know the answer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
I'm so glad that we're in positions where we don't have to make that choice. Like what? So there are more people like us out there. We'll see what happens in the future with all, like what their true, mission is with all this, because there's definitely something maniacal behind all this manipulation, deceit, and coercion in it. We'll see what happens, like how there's a difference between, like, because I think it's what 80% of our population is vaccinated. Like what's really like what? Yeah, it's close to 80.
Wow,
Close to 80% of our population is vaccinated now.
That's a very high number.
that's huge.
It's very high. It's very scary. But like I feel like it wouldn't be that high if they didn't force people's jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
You hear people all the time say, I didn't want to get it, but the job, or I figured I'd have to at some point anyway, or so-and-so maybe like, who was it? Owen. So I started training Owen Wicker again. He comes to my house and his mom told him that he couldn't continue to live there if he didn't get vaccinated. He had to go live with his dad.
That's so fucking sad. That's
one example.
Wait, you guys see that story about that teacher?
Yeah.
That put her son in the trunk.
Oh no, no.
So there, I can't remember where it was. It was in America though. But there was a teacher whose son tested positive for COVID, so she put him in the trunk to go to a drive-up site, and she got arrested for endangering a child.
Fry the bitch.
And her
People
own
are
kid.
in their damn mind.
And she's a teacher.
The teachers are the worst.
Well,
They
there's
are the worst.
there's a teacher in New York who got a vaccine and administered a vaccine to a kid.
Well, that's fucked up.
Without any knowledge to the parent or any consent at all.
And the teacher
the kid gave
She's going
consent.
to jail.
The kid gave consent, apparently. That's what I read.
The kid would have had to. I mean, he's sitting right there.
Is she really going to jail?
Yeah, she got arrested.
Good. That's crazy. A teacher, she actually administered it?
Yes.
Why would she ever think that's okay?
People losing their minds.
That shit crazy. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
It stops for me. It stops when the whole logic behind getting vaccinated stops when it doesn't work.
Right?
Literally doesn't fucking work. And Rogan was saying it too. Like he was saying and like it was either the one with Dr. Malone or with Jocko, the one I listened to recently. He was like, I like some dude that is 400 pounds and me is not equal. Like our health system is not equal. You can't just force something on me and like I do all kinds of shit to be healthy. Like my body is not the same as some 400-pound dude that has, ridiculous cholesterol levels, onset like pre-diabetes, pre-hypertension, right? Doesn't work out. We're not equal as far as our health goes. I don't need it. And then, of course, he beat COVID he tested from the day he tested positive to the day he tested negative was 4 days. And all he had was like the sweats and he was tired. It's like, it doesn't work. Well, people now the vaccinated are still in the hospitals. Right. Now the vaccinated are still the ones testing positive. It's just it doesn't work.
And they're spreading.
Stop pushing it because it doesn't work.
So if we never heard of vaccinated people getting sick and we never heard of vaccinated people in the hospital, think about how many more would be inclined to get the shot.
A lot.
But it's losing credibility every single time you hear of somebody that falls into that category. So it's insane for all these mandates and all this coercion for something that does not work. And could potentially give you adverse side effects that could be life altering.
That part.
the data on kids like athletes collapsing during sport, that number is outrageous compared to any type of vaccine or medicine
We
that's ever
never heard of that before this.
Mm-mm.
This is new.
And they're trying to play it off like, oh, it's common.
No,
Not at all.
that
Like,
never.
it's not common for a 17-year-old athlete to fucking collapse.
Dude, the amount of soccer players that have died this year while in the middle of a game or something alone is crazy.
Mhm.
I've seen so many videos of these guys just collapsing, having heart attacks. Well,
Like,
even Malone said that too.
Yeah,
Like,
people that are still fighting for this just literally just aren't looking at statistics, and they're like if you look at like what are statistics from? Statistics is from science. Like if you look at statistics, like you will see that this is not working, and why should we be mandated to do any of this for something that's dangerous and not working? Like it's just right there in front of our face.
Well, it's funny. Have you ever watched the video of like Fauci and like the CDC director and how at first it was 100% effective and then it goes to like 90% and it was like 80 and then 70 and then it keeps getting worse and worse. Like the efficacy of it, like that alone is just, it's crazy because they were so like hellburnt that it's going to protect you. Like it's completely effective. You have to take it. We have to mandate it. And then you can just watch the narrative over time just change to where they just look like idiots. And we don't have like, that's why we have no public health trust.
Well, there is clearly, I mean, I know you guys have seen the numbers and the revenue that Big Pharma has made, you know, Moderna and Pfizer. Yeah. So there's clearly that is really where it all leads back to, because the approach that should have been taken with this vaccine was that it is experimental. It was accelerated in its development. And it's like, okay, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We had to do something. Here's the vaccine. Here are the possible risks. If you're 400 pounds, or if you have asthma or COPD, or if you're over a certain age, we would recommend it. But weigh out the options. Instead of it's a one size fit all, everybody has to take this. When people are getting sick and bouncing back that are not vaccinated.
99.8% of the people who get COVID recover.
Right.
Yeah, it's where that.
Does it seem necessary?
And here's another thing. I'm not sure how it would be done, but nobody should be making money off these vaccines.
Agreed.
I don't know how, if it goes back into the government or distributed to, like, I don't know where the money goes, but there should not be profit made off of a pandemic.
What, like, you know, people are saying like, we'll follow the money. It's all for the money. But like, why would our government and the world's governments be like putting an entire country's economy at risk? Like literally every single person in the country financially at risk, with the businesses closing down and all of that, just for the profit of these pharmaceutical companies.
And you just opened up a whole nother can of worms that deals with the global financial crisis.
The Great Reset. So there's something. It's not just about money for Pfizer or Moderna.
No.
It's about something far, far, far bigger.
You're saying they want the economy to collapse?
Well, right now, if everything is bad like it has been, and what they've been doing is essentially prolonging the dollar as reserve currency, and because everything that's been happening, it's given them a convenient excuse to print more money and to keep inflating the dollar. So they're using that to their advantage, and that's why all, like, you know, rich people, BlackRock and all them, they're buying up everything, buying all the stocks, because then they're inflating the dollar, so their money is just going through the roof right now.
Yeah. So it's getting real spooky, because like, if for logical people, for like us and for like Rogan, for logical people who can look at stats and say none of this makes sense, why would somebody be telling us this is completely illogical? Like it's obviously maniacal.
Yeah, that's the only explanation.
Maniacal.
So during this other podcast that Rogan had with it was right before Dr. Malone. It was John Abrams. He's an MD, Harvard Medical School lecturer. He was talking about how, I don't have the precise number, I'm trying to look it up, but he was talking about how the trust in healthcare before the pandemic, the trust in healthcare was extremely low. And since the pandemic, the trust in healthcare has risen to like top 3 out of like all different categories. So like before the pandemic happened, people were starting to distrust healthcare quite a bit. And that's a huge money maker in the world. So just think like, could it possibly have been to gain more trust in the healthcare system too as well? Like that's another.
Why is there more trust now? Just because of the work that was done to get us out of the deep part of the pandemic?
Yeah, because they were able to develop a vaccine to change things, and
yeah, but
all of a sudden now, well, yeah, but all of a sudden now your life is in danger because they just say, you know, die, you're gonna die, like all that shit is gonna happen. And so you need something to go to. What's the go-to? Take this vaccine and you'll survive, you know? So people started to trust that.
It's not looking good, man.
It's not looking good.
The only way to get out of this is to make a lot of money, guys.
That's part of it.
That's why you should buy some Bitcoin Cash right now.
Definitely got to get into stocks.
You can't make any money in stocks.
Dude, stocks are so manipulated. I mean, I know crypto probably is too, but stocks seem to be.
Oh yeah, they both are.
Just like, it's just what they're gonna do is they're gonna wipe out 50% of people and just let them eat themselves. It's what, guys? It's the 83% that they're implementing an 83% plan.
Also,
they're gonna let all the people that are taking the vaccine die because they're dumb enough to. So that's the 83%.
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna impoverish 83% of the world and just let the 83% of the world just kill each other off. It's essentially what major cities are doing to the inner cities, right? It's just gang warfare in the inner cities. They like purposely impoverish them and then let them just kill each other.
They would have to completely destroy the free market.
They might be, right? I mean, it's
with socialism.
They would have to.
Communism and socialism. Communism trying to take over the world.
Feels like that sometimes.
I mean, that's a big plan in the making. It's not going to happen overnight, so I'm not sure where it's going.
I mean, I'm sure it's the Great Reset. The Great Reset has been, I think the first time, was it 1992 or 1991 or something like that? I think it's been a plan for a long time. Or a great financial crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Or the New World Order or whatever.
Well,
or whatever you want to call it. It's been, I saw early 1990s. So it's been a plan for a long time.
But definitely the really bad part was in like 2008 too. Is that they really fucked everybody. And then they claimed to fix it, but they never fixed it. It's
and they
been
did
running
with housing then, right? So now what are they going to do it with? Do a housing plus something else. I mean, shit. Even like China wants to be the number one world economy by like 2040 or something like that. How long have they been working on that for? So like,
China?
Yeah,
they want to be.
These super smart, intelligent people have very, very long-term goals.
2050, they want to be the world leader of power.
2050.
I think it was in Epic Times. I saw that.
Guys, the only way out of it is to make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, dude.
True.
Make money.
So true.
Or just learn how to be sustainable on your own and go out into the middle of nowhere.
I guess that's true too.
Lots of guns.
2 ways. Yeah, 2 ways. Make a lot of money or retreat to the mountains.
Both.
Oh,
You
it
gotta
doesn't
get
necessarily
rain.
have to be the mountains, but
I feel like the mountains is necessary either way.
Just
mountain living would be actually like super hard. I watched a movie the other night or over Christmas break. It was called Land. Did I talk about that? I feel like I talked about that with
you
you guys.
did. You told us about it.
But yeah.
Or you
Anyway,
told me about it.
it was like or yeah, I did tell you about it. So it was like it featured the first part of the movie was just how fucking harsh the winters are in the mountains, like how hard it is would be to survive if you don't know what you're doing. Like
Would be.
there's a reason that there's not a huge amount of population in the mountains. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to survive up there, which is good. I mean, if you think about it too, the reason in World War II that Hitler couldn't take over Russia was because he tried to invade during the winter. So like if you can learn how to live in an area like that, like you're very well protected, especially during the winter. You're very well protected in general because it's very hard to navigate and get supplies through mountains, but also the winter is extremely harsh. If you don't know what you're doing, you could very easily die.
All right, Dan. Great Reset, I think formerly known as Agenda 21.
1991, 1992.
92.
Mm-hmm. That's what
And George Bush had something to do with it. George Bush was our president when this happened. When did he come into power? 98?
The first George Bush?
Yeah,
Let's say George H.W. Bush. So was that
George H would have been 2000.
the old Bush?
That was the second Bush. Oh yeah, you're right. W was the newer one. I'm sorry. So
This was H.W. Herbert Walker Bush.
So that would have been like, I think Bush W was in 2000. So he would have been 96. Does that sound right?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, HW is the older one, his dad. So that would have been at the end of his presidency. Because I think Clinton was like 94, maybe
92.
93.
No, it's in even numbers because George W. Bush took over in 2000.
2001. I'm looking at it right now.
2001. Well, yeah, the election was in 2000, so he took over in January 2001.
Yeah, so Clinton took over in 93.
Yeah, the election of 92, and then he took over in January 93. Yeah. So it was Clinton.
No, it was Bush.
No,
It was before he left office.
Yeah, so George W. Bush, it was in his reign that Agenda 21 was introduced.
Yes.
And now Agenda 21. Now they're saying, so now what the economic forum and what people are calling the Great Reset, people in the economic forum, these elite people are saying that by 2030, we will own nothing and be happy.
I've read the article. I've seen it. It's a pretty crazy concept.
Yeah. We were literally just lease and rent everything.
What I think is going to happen is if that goes through, then I believe that cities will be like that, but rural areas will not be.
Man, if I got to get, I do like Dallas Fort Worth. I like Texas. I like the conservative mindset, but it's too many damn people. Too many damn people. I can't wait to get away from cities. I just can't do cities. It's just it's hive mind, man. Like nobody thinks for themselves. It's just there's no individuality. It's all groupthink in cities.
What I've noticed is how much I'm indoors because of that. Like otherwise, if I lived in the country, I'd be outside all the time.
Hell yeah.
But I don't. I live in an apartment in a city.
Like more people that populate a place, the more they act out. Like I just don't trust any.
That too.
Cities are gonna really go through it, guys. They already are. Look at what's happening in New York, Chicago, and LA. Shit.
It's insanity.
Why would anybody want to live there? Unless you just love the idea of being controlled all the time.
Some people just love big cities in general.
I don't understand it. I can't.
Well, it's the same way that we desire a more slow-paced, calmer lifestyle. They seek out fast-paced, hectic, busy. It's just a way of life that some people enjoy. And there's a lot of opportunity. There's a ton of opportunity in big cities.
There is a lot of opportunity, a lot more money to make in the cities. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but there's money everywhere.
No, we were just talking about why somebody would want to live there, not why we would.
Okay. I think some people just can't, like, cities are expensive, but I feel like some people just can't afford to get out.
What do you mean?
Can't get a new job somewhere else.
Well, then like, maybe like moving expenses or, whatever their current situation may be.
Dude, it's
Might
great.
need to live close to work or something.
Well, that's one thing.
It's good.
We were at the Bearded Owl for Bree's baby shower, and Stevie and I are doing dry January, so we weren't drinking. But there was this campfire stout that was marshmallow caramel.
That sounds good.
I looked at it and read the description probably 10 times. Like, maybe I could just taste it, but we didn't get anything.
Yeah, I mean, a sample doesn't count, right? You just got a sample.
No, it counts.
Are you sure?
Positive. Nope, I held strong. So did she.
Good boy.
Did you hear that?
I saw your face and you jump a little bit.
That's falling.
Dry January, huh?
Yep.
It's a good thing to do after the holidays. There's a lot of drinking during the holidays.
Yeah.
I didn't drink for 3 months, so I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, you deserve one.
Dude, the first day back in the gym, I got triggered right away for caffeine. I was like, damn, that hour, a couple hours being there, like, damn it, I need something. Just the thought is,
You
they
should
taste so good.
You should just you just wanted a bang. You didn't really care about the caffeine.
Well, coffee too. I mean the flavor. Yeah, I guess I was more for the flavor.
Because if I
And
was
then
you,
I do love the feeling of being wired.
well, who doesn't? But if I
Nice.
was you, I wouldn't have went straight to a 300 milligram drink. With how low your caffeine tolerance was, you could have just had like 100. And
I
then
could have.
slowly increase.
I could have.
Could have.
Not what I
Should've-
wanted.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
We got a nice coffee place kind of close by too, like right across the street from us. So I'll walk over there and get some espressos.
Coffee.
Delicious.
You ever get nitro brews?
I've had them, but I don't buy them specifically.
Those are my favorite.
They're a little foamy.
Yeah,
That's
they're
not bad.
foamy and they're even higher in caffeine content.
Handsome boy.
Oh yeah.
Like, because there's zero roasting. I'm not exactly sure how it happens, but yeah, dude, they make you feel good.
Do you know how many is in like one of those? How much caffeine?
No, it's gotta be close to like 250.
Trying to avoid like pre-workout, but I can do like energy drinks. Does that make sense?
No, it makes no sense.
I'm trying to convince myself it makes sense.
It doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It's not the same.
Well, you might as well just be on vaccine camp now. Shit.
I had one. I didn't like it.
What? Pre?
Vaccine.
Oh. Yeah, fuck that. It was kind of concerning how you were having those spells of racing heart.
Yeah, it was very concerning. And then listening to fucking Dr. Malone talk, he's saying that after you get COVID, you have I think it was 2 to 4 chance higher risk of adverse effects of getting the shot afterwards. I was like, damn, I had COVID and then like a month later got the vax because I was told to by my doctor. And then I'm like, fuck.
If I was you, I probably would have too.
Yeah, well, the whole situation in general is intimidating, and the science says
trust the science.
Get the shot.
Well, I mean, going into chemo,
part of that too is like I'm pretty sure I still have it in like my B cells and my T cells and stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm still like pretty good with it. So I don't know how it really affected my immunity. Sorry. And what do you know what the latest is on how long you're good for with natural immunity?
I think it was 6 months.
Yeah, I was like 6 to 8 or something like that.
First it said 9, and I believe it's been knocked down to 6.
Okay.
They're always changing.
Yeah, right.
Guidelines and the
should probably wear a mask, but then don't wear a mask. But then wear 2 masks. But then you don't need to wear a mask.
It's so stupid.
Well, I just like I wonder. So like Weston and we've never tested positive for COVID, right? Right.
None of you guys have had it?
Nope.
Congrats.
So why are we not dead? Because that's what they said.
Very confused.
Why is it like if it was as dangerous as as they said, right? Why have we not even tested positive for it yet? Number one, because I haven't tested for it. Number one. Number 2, I've never fucking gotten sick. Like what the fuck? So how come the vaccinated can't look at me and be like, oh, you're still alive and you never got horribly sick?
You're probably spreading to everybody else, killing everybody, Dan.
That's what they're gonna say, right? Well, that's exactly what they're gonna say. You are a carrier, and you got everybody else sick. You're vaccinated. What do you care?
Yeah, you have 3 masks on. You'll be fine.
I'm standing 6 feet away from you too. Remember the 6 feet thing? Now that's not a thing anymore.
Right.
Dude, one of the funniest things of the social distancing they still have them in certain stores, but like the one ways. Okay, so like you can't do this, but if you're both going one way and one person's looking at an item here and then the next one stands right next to him, like what's the fucking difference?
It's so crazy.
Complete insanity.
Dan, you're commenting about how you're still alive. Mm-hmm. The most fucked up part about that recently is that fucking your president was on TV telling you that you're gonna die. Your president was literally saying that you have not got the vaccine. Death. Because of death.
Because of the Omicron, which everybody's getting, and it's literally a cold.
Yeah. Do you see that door open?
That's what. Yeah. That's...
The fuck is that? You got ghosts?
Is it James? Yeah, here I am kicking. I don't know. Either they're full of shit or I'm superhuman. James. Yep. Either they're full of 100% horse shit or I am superhuman.
You should be dead by now.
Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm capable of. Maybe I should go try to pick up a bus.
Do it.
You should. See what happens. Make sure it's moving.
After I measure my taint, I'll go pick up a bus if it's over 3 inches.
That's a crazy stat. And they were taking it back to plastics in the water. Is that really what's causing it?
Like bottled water is what you're saying?
No, like plastics going into water, like the ocean and shit like that. That might be right. What you said. That makes sense.
Because they've been talking a lot about plastic containers and plastic and water bottles, like, because that's how we consume it. We wouldn't consume it from the ocean.
Right. That makes sense.
So I have heard of that, increasing estrogen.
So what how long should a female gooch be?
Probably about, well, I don't know. Well, you'd want it to be shorter, right? Because the more estrogen in a woman, the more fertile they are. But when I Googled gooch length and the average, I went to a Wikipedia page, and it immediately had an actual picture of a male and a female like asshole and like this huge nutsack hanging.
Okay, so that's another thing.
Cartoon.
So in that first picture, the animated one that Love brought up, the scrotum was like a nice tight little ball, right? But like, what about when it ain't tight and round? What about when it's saggy, just sagging? What if my balls are sagging to my butthole? Does that mean I'm full of estrogen?
No,
Really, probably.
it's the top. It's the top of your ball sag. So the attachment point's always going to be the same.
Yeah, I'll have to do a few measurements.
Yeah, you do that. Well, so the technically the female distance is larger because
which makes sense. Oh no, it doesn't. Never mind. No, it doesn't.
Well, no, it does, because like the hole's in the middle for a female, right? Where for the male it measures to the top of the ball sack. Do you know what I'm saying? So go to Wikipedia and type in anogenical distance, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because it literally has a side-by-side picture, and then it like draws a distance, and the female one is clearly bigger.
Anogenic alopecia?
No.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm talking about? How it goes to the center for the girl?
Why is there two different measurements though?
What do you mean?
What I saw pop up was it came up on images, and there's two different measurements for AGD.
I don't know. I'm just on the Wikipedia page.
It's an interesting image choice.
That's weird. Is yours that you're looking at go to the front of the ball sack or to the back of the ball sack?
The back, because it's showing from the back of the body.
So what I'm looking at is from the Journal of Pediatric Urology. And if we're measuring from the back, then the distance is significantly shorter for women.
What do you measure from the back? Oh, well, see, that wasn't where it measured from on the Wikipedia page, because that looks more accurate. That makes more sense.
That's the Journal of Pediatric Urology.
That makes more sense.
Which does coincide with
on Wikipedia, it says males with lower than median, 52 millimeters, have 7 times the chance of being subfertile. That's crazy.
That is wild, right?
So, Blub, you can be rest assured that yours is greater than 2 inches.
God bless.
Okay, I was looking at this picture wrong. I see what it's doing now. Yeah, it's substantially smaller, which makes sense. It had two lengths. AGD AC, whatever the fuck that means, is what I was reading to be the
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's the longer one.
Yeah.
I see that.
I don't know what that means.
But it's interesting.
That is a fact that I did not anticipate learning today, Blow.
Yeah. Glad I could share.
Not a fact that I would ever anticipate learning, but I like it.
It's kind of crazy to think about, really.
Dude, it's insane.
So, hold on. Is this responsible for the amount of gay and or bisexual people?
They wouldn't say that because it's a choice, right?
I thought you were born.
What, Dan?
What?
You said because it's a choice.
That's what they would say.
I thought you were born that way. Is that not a thing? I
Oh,
thought it wasn't a choice.
maybe. What would they say?
They would say it's not a choice.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're born that way. Because if it was a choice, they wouldn't choose to be that way,
Right.
right?
I mean, I guess some probably still would. I mean,
Oh.
apparently your gender's a choice.
XYZ.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you know that everybody that chooses their gender has a small taint.
Makes sense.
Science.
Well,
Bye, Given.
that's a good question. If somebody goes under sex change reconstruction, does their taint immediately shrink?
Maybe that's part of the surgery.
Maybe.
Why is that related? What is the point of that relation?
Well, that would be. Would that be around where your prostate is?
Your prostate, no, your prostate's up inside further.
Yeah, but it's not. No, I don't think that's true. I think it's right. I don't think it's very far up inside.
Well, a doctor can find the male prostate through the anus with his finger.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it would be like the prostate would be like above the gooch. It looks like.
Who came up with this? Like, who decided that this plays a role in fertility?
And how do they start studying it?
Right.
They said you have 4 children. Okay, let me measure your taint. I got some questions.
Right. What?
Huh. I don't know, man. This is pretty wacky stuff we're talking about here, boys.
I think maybe there's too much information in the world
I think there is too. I got overload right now.
and too many sites to see it on.
Listen, how are you gonna put that in the description?
Oh, I'll find a way. I might have to put an advisory on this one, boys.
It's probably smart. We don't want to offend too many people.
That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. It started with my kimono.
Yeah.
Yeah, right when you got on,
Mhm.
game over.
Yeah. That crossed the line.
Ask me if I care.
You care?
No.
I'm gonna have to measure my baby's scrotum, my baby's anogenital distance when he comes out.
You know how when you were growing up, your parents used to measure your height every year to see how much you grew in a year?
Yeah.
You'll have a gooch chart.
I just
That's
make
what
sure you
it was.
measure the chain every year too.
In the kitchen.
Probably a good idea.
See how many millimeters it grows each year. See if they're gonna be fertile.
And if not growing enough, find some contraption that like pulls it.
Oh God.
He has to wear it for 4 hours a day. Like, Dad, why do I have to wear this thing?
Oh, I found one for healthy infants.
What?
Yeah.
You found a chart that has
Uh,
a healthy tank measurement for infants?
up to 24 months. Doesn't say.
Because they don't want people going to measure in their kids. All right, boys. Well, that is probably good. I am getting hungry. Gotta fix me up something to eat.
Thanks.
Yeah. You gotta eat too.
Same. I quit drinking beer.
There's been enough taint talk for one podcast.
New episode of 1883 is out tonight.
We haven't even watched the first. We haven't started it.
Definitely.
That's a series, and that's from the same creators of Yellowstone?
Yep.
It's a series though?
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
What?
It's a prequel.
Is it better?
No, Bluff. Stop. Watch Yellowstone.
Well, if it's a prequel, I should probably watch that.
No, Yellowstone came out first.
Well, Yellowstone started first, like 3
Doesn't
years.
make any sense.
It makes all the sense in the world.
So, after the first couple episodes of 1883, I was like, man, I might like this show better than Yellowstone. And then when I was in Arkansas, there is a Yellowstone fan out there, and they literally said the same thing. So I'm not the only one. But
What happened in 1883? Is that slavery?
no, that's post Civil War. I'm talking about.
What was 1883?
You
Gold
fucking with-
Rush?
No. So it's just the expansion of civilization out
Oh,
west.
it was the Oregon Trail. It was
Yeah.
the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, it's the Oregon Trail. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what it was.
So the Yellowstone is about the Dutton family that has a huge, enormous land ranch in Montana. And 1883 is about the journey of the original Dutton family from Fort Worth, Texas, up to Montana. So it's just like, but they are on their journey, but also helping lead a group of people to Oregon. So yes, it's literally the Oregon Trail. But their mission is to find a land where they can build their home and start a family out west in the mountains. And it's how they're establishing their land in Montana from their journey from Fort Worth.
What if we could do that right now? Just go out there and stake some land. Just take it. Be like, that's ours.
We need money to sustain.
Yeah.
Well, we do now, but they didn't back then.
Back then, all you needed to do was just fucking fight for it.
Yeah, you would just kill whoever said it wasn't your land.
It's true.
And that's essentially what it is. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of death in 1883. It's a lot of killing. It's pretty dope. And they're badass motherfuckers. I mean, literally, like, you can't even, like, the savagery in 1883, like, you couldn't drink river water without getting cholera. Like, there was a girl died because she got bit on the ass by a rattlesnake. Like, there's
Spoiler alert.
a 5-year-old has to learn how to use a gun. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's survival. So
Sounds crazy. All right, I got pissed. I'm gonna piss my pants, so I gotta go.
Me too.
all right, boys. One love.
All right, homies. Love you.
Love you guys.